Hi there, it's Gersh Kuntzman of the Brooklyn Paper on Sunday, and I'm here at Red Hook Park, as you can see, to commemorate the reopening of the Red Hook vendor season. About 3 months too late, and as you can see behind me, they're actually set up outside of Red Hook Park. We're going to ask the Parks Commissioner about that a little bit later. Here's the area inside Red Hook Park where the vendors used to set up. And here's where they set up now, outside of the park, on the sidewalk. This is Carmen Rojas's popular ceviche and empanada truck. Okay, so now the vendors are set up outside of the park, actually on the sidewalk, causing a considerable amount of people who are actually waiting on the sidewalks near Red Hook Pool to get their food. Not everyone was so pleased at the stepped-up city enforcement. I spoke to Josh Kuntzman, who runs the Pork Chop Express website and has been a champion of the vendors for months. He blasted the city for insensitivity towards the vendors.
These people were really put through the ringer because they were under the radar for 30 years, and out of the blue it became the hip new thing, flavor of the month. And that had its good and its bad. On one hand, business increased, but on the other hand, the city really cracked down. And the way they did so was entirely indiscriminate and thoughtless, in my perspective, in the sense that, you know, they didn't really recognize reality. And the reality was that this group had done a great deal for the community for so many years. These are not rich people we're talking about here, and they're charging them on average 45 grand. That's why you don't see every truck here. A lot of these people, you know, they're justifiably not too happy these things are allowed to subsist, and then all of a sudden they see the light of day and they really change, not necessarily for the better. No, it's the increasing corporatization and modernization. For some reason, the city just really has sticked up. Wow. Look, when they're going after Tom Tafara, for Christ's sake, I mean, people love that guy. People are willing to wait there for 2 hours for a slice of pizza, and they've shut him down, what, 3 times? There's something wrong with the process here. There's something, I think, a little more thought and a little more discrimination could be used in this process to benefit the public. I think it's as simple as that.
Meanwhile, Parks Commissioner Adrian Benepe chowed down.
I got a pupusa, meat and cheese. Nice. It's very hot temperature-wise, so not too spicy. It's delicious.
Later, Benepe faced a different kind of heat, the one that comes from the media.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner, you're going to take some questions?
Yeah, questions.
Okay. So, Commissioner, if I'm hearing anything as a theme, it's the hard regulation and regulatory hurdles that you put the vendors through. The question I think a lot of members of the public want to know is why? Why are we here 2 months or 3 months after we could have been here?
Because it was not just a matter of there were several issues. We had them operating for many years on a 29-day permit. That wasn't legal, and the fact it wasn't legal caught up to it. The second hurdle was meeting the health code. To sell food, this was a big leap to go from selling food in a tent to selling food in a truck. They had to get food handling licenses. They had to go to school and learn these things. But I think, all things considered, we met the letter of the law, which was important. We can't do things illegally. We met the health codes, so the food we know is going to be healthy and safe. And the vendors are going to be out here, and God willing, the weather will stay warm. They'll have a long season and be able to make a lot of money at traveling.
Were there a lot of complaints over the 30 years that inspired you guys to have to change the law?
We didn't change any laws. No, there were existing laws. The existing laws had to be enforced. And that's why you saw the health department enforcing existing laws at restaurants all across the city.
But were there complaints about the vendors?
There were no complaints about the vendors. We didn't have complaints about the vendors. It's just the existing laws caught up to the vendors, and they had to comply with them.
Have you spoken to the vendors here? Have you apologized or said something to them?
I just said we're happy to have them back, and we worked very hard with them. But we consider the vendors our partners. We consider them part of the family.
Now check this out. Under harsh questioning from reporters, Chimichanga Chuck Schumer actually steps in.
Yeah, he did a good thing. We don't want to bust his chops today. Okay?
Sorry, Senator, but busting chops or holding public officials accountable is what we do over here at the Brooklyn Paper. And everybody actually seems to be pointing at the finger at the health department, and no representative of the health department is here to answer the questions from the media about why this took so long, why are there so many regulatory hurdles, and why has it cost the vendors upwards of $45,000 to $55,000 to be here today, and indeed why 4 of the vendors have not been allowed to pass their inspections yet. Can't go with those answers today. We'll try to get them this week in the Brooklyn Paper. Thanks very much.